Welcome to a new Daily Top AskReddit video. Today's topic:
Women, what is a near universal ick in the dating world? Trying to turn the conversation sexual way too early. Hey smiley face. Hey, how's it going? Good, you, horny eheh. Blocked. Can I send you a picture? This, from an actual Tinder convo I had. Me, hey your dog is super cute, where is that hike? Looks beautiful. Him, thanks, it's local park, do you do anal? Tears of joy. Tinder is horrifying. Once a guy started a convo by saying, what do oxygen and an orgasm have in common? I don't care if you get either of them. Yeah, wasn't funny. Poor hygiene. Had a date recently where a guy would not stop trying to force a kiss. Even him laughing during a comedy show was so bad I had to turn my whole head away for dear life. The mildewy carpet smelled better. It was like wet baby shit. A nightmare of a man for a lot of reasons, but it felt satisfying in his 5 days post-rejection stage when he tried to passive-aggressively insult me for turning him down, to let him know how I truly felt. When they ask 0 questions about you and treat the date like a 60-minute podcast where they are the only guest. Somehow the guy who asked me questions but then proceeded to patronize me every answer I gave was far worse. Telling me I chose the wrong degree. Telling me my job was low value, asking me why I was single, then calling me a liar and saying I must have multiple boyfriends. And he wanted to go on a second, more romantic date. Exclamation mark. When I was working on my PhD, I went on a date with a guy who kept implying that I had no idea what it was like to work hard, was unemployed because he thought teaching research wasn't real work, didn't understand how to manage money because I spent $5 more than him on lunch, I paid for myself, etc. Only for it to come out towards the end of the date that he was unemployed and living with his aunt because his parents kicked him out. Genuinely bizarre social experience. He seemed shocked when I said it wasn't going to work out. Being a contrarian no matter what is said. Nah, that doesn't sound right. Unsolicited dick pics. 10 years ago I was on a couple dating sites. The direct conversations mostly went like this: me, hi, how's your day? Guy, good. Yours? Me, very well, thanks for asking. Guy, send dick pic. It was comical at times. I'm so glad I don't have to deal with that nonsense anymore. Thankfully, I did find my guy Purple Heart. I used to collect all the unsolicited dick pics I received in their own folder and send one back to whoever sent them to me. It was never appreciated for some reason. Never understood how guys think sending women pictures of something that looks like a bruised toe shoved through a turkey neck is somehow going to land them dates. I know this post is directed towards women, but as a gay man I resonate with this so much as well. It's disgusting and an insta-block. Calling yourself an alpha. I am a programmer, so for me, I always hear people talking about themselves as an alpha in the same way I look at the alpha stage of software development. Alpha stage equals broken, full of bugs and flaws, and unfit for public use. Pretty much sums up anyone who is a self-proclaimed alpha perfectly. And calling women females. I had to break a guy friend from doing this, and when I explained why he was like, yeah okay, I get it. Then proceeded to say that other females don't care, so why do I? Ugh. When someone refers to females, just makes me think of the Ferengi from Star Trek. Same vibe, right? LMAO or high value man. Putting down other women to lift you up. I am exactly like other girls because other girls are wonderful. Putting down other women by criticizing what they wear, how much makeup they have on or how little, their personality etc, dropping not so subtle hints as to how they expect you to behave and look and what friends you're allowed to keep. Meanwhile those women they hate are actually the ones they wanted in the first place. Meeting a woman on a first date and crying to her about how women are not interested in him. I had a coworker, the first time I met him he comes up to me and says, it's so hard to find love. These bitches don't know what they want. Nobody takes relationships seriously, they all just wanna be whores. I'm not lying either. He told me that before telling me his name or saying, hi, loudly crying, tears of joy. It's always funny when people respond to rejection by calling the girl a whore. Couldn't even get with a whore. I'd have probably responded with a, if this is how you introduce yourself to coworkers, I think I know why you're having trouble dating. Then I'd probably get a talking to from our. Seriously, my ex used to piss and moan about being friend-zoned. Well, stop befriending women only because you find them attractive and want to see if you can wear them down to date you. Befriend people because you legitimately want to be friends, jackass. Woman facepalming, medium dark skin tone. They fuck zone a woman and then get pissed it's not a match. I had an ex who did this, too. He would complain to me that he hadn't had more sex in college, while we were dating. Like, sorry, this loving, active relationship isn't enough for you, my guy. Every ex is crazy. They're typically crazy because they found out they were cheated on, lied to, etc. The main part about why they're crazy gets left out or lied about. bad temper, rage. Condescension. It doesn't even have to be in a dating context. You treat someone like an idiot, you might as well brand the word, asshole, into your forehead. I read that first word as condensation and was so confused. Hey, if a guy has a problem with condensation, I'm leaving. Mold is no laughing matter. Don't know if anyone said this yet, but a dude who's not involved in the lives of his children if he has them. That bitch won't let me see them. Convenient excuse for a deadbeat dad. My friend has an ex who likes to post unhinged BS about how my friend won't let him see their kid, but always conveniently leaves out that he did see him, despite the fact he never had food or clothes for him and friend had to supply everything, and then he got arrested for assaulting friend, BM at pickup, and didn't show up to any of the court-ordered supervised visitation or custody hearings. I guess making a delusional Facebook post is easier than just not being a selfish moron though. My bonus dad managed to keep up a relationship with me after divorcing my mom and moving 4 hours away even when I was a teenage girl. He still watches one of the movies we saw in theater every time he sees it on his satellite stuff because the main character uses both my first and middle name and it reminds him of me. He managed to do this and have a separate relationship, taking my brothers and tomboy little sister to the arcade a few times a month. Those who want to try. Being rude to service people, or rude in general, to anyone. Using the phrase, high value, to describe another human being. Trying to act tough about everything. I lived in a nice suburban neighborhood and was friendly with my dude neighbor. My date picked me up and acted like he needed to size up the neighbor for a potential fist fight. I was very confused because all my neighbor did was wave and the date said I'm too naive to understand. We didn't date long. I'm still friends with my neighbor and his family 10+ years later. Blurg, I'm a straight guy and that's just such a turn-off from dudes in general life. The guy waved. Just wave back FFS. Surprised he didn't try pee on her to claim. A new one, ChatGPT. If they use ChatGPT to talk to me in the app, how do they expect to use it IRL when we meet? Here's the thing, you've made a valid point. Let that sink in. Face vomiting. Write a message to about how she decided her career. An actual message I received. Lack of social boundaries. He stands too close, touches too soon, asks questions too personal. But there are more. I had one guy pick me up for a date. I buckled up my seatbelt, he smiled approvingly and patted me good-naturedly on the cooch. Another guy really urgently wanted to go to the track. Another brought a literal, in the old sense of the word, portfolio of 8x10 glossies of him with various celebrities. Dates like this are God's way of giving us drinking stories. The portfolio thing is fucking hilarious. What in the fuck? Exclamation mark. It doesn't beat the couch pet. Another guy really urgently wanted to go to the track. Pardon my ignorance, is this a sexual euphemism I'm unaware of, or do you mean he wanted to gamble on horses and/or greyhounds? Nah, he wanted to get her 100 meters splits, see if she could anchor his relay. In the first couple dates, having an issue with meeting you in a public place, or insisting you come over, or insisting on picking you up, or trying to come over your place. I went speed dating, and one guy's opening line was, I have a good job and a house and I deserve to have a wife. I thought to myself, fantastic, I have to talk to this guy for 5.5 more minutes. I think the ick here is called entitlement. Excuse me, but I have to go to the ladies' room for 5.5 minutes. Quote. Can't stop checking their phone. Send me a pic, guys. Last guy the first talk to would go through my social media and send me pics of myself he personally liked with his own caption of unsolicited comments he thought would flatter me. Yeah, super turned off. OMG this. Why do men who only have like 3 horrendously curated photos of themselves on the dating profiles want constant new photos sent to them? Like I'll have 6 photos on my profile and the guy with 2 blurry photos and a cropped group pic of him wearing a hat and sunglasses will still say, do you have any more pics of yourself? On a first date, men worry that the woman will turn out to be fat. Women worry that the man will kill them. I had a guy take a normal pic from my Instagram, Photoshop my shirt transparent to show my breasts, and then send it to me. He was quite proud of his creation and couldn't believe I was offended. This is one of the craziest things I've read on one of these dating threads. When you first meet them and they say, I'm a nice guy, or, I'm not like other guys. Here we go, means, I'm probably worse than most guys because I lack introspection skills. Any red pill lingo. I don't know a single woman who hears, alpha male, and doesn't see a giant red flag. Once experienced a dude making a really bad and not even kinda funny rape joke 10 minutes into a first date. Has to be a universal one. Lol, I commented on a different thread yesterday about how I hate it when men make rape jokes in front of me. Some guy responded to my comment claiming that I was lying, and that never happens. You can't fix willful stupidity. Saying you're lucky to be on a date with him. And when you say no to a second date, naturally, say that, at my age, I was 42 then, I'd be lucky to find someone as good as him. Men think they are competing with other men, but really they are competing with a woman's sense of satisfaction she has from being an independent woman. But gosh, instead you could pick up his dirty socks for the rest of your life. This is so accurate. I'm single and like my life. Any relationship I get into would have to be an improvement over that. It's a high bar to clear, and I just don't see that happening anytime soon.